Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 2 and we will present about the work of high-rise building structures.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Ilham Jaya Kusuma, NPM 2101 119. Survey of multiple store building structure work. Foundation. Foundation. Our work must be created at safira to hold complete with work safety lives and so on. Excavations may only be continued if the settlement has been carried out properly, taking in account the implementation and soil condition, disturbance, displacements, and oscillations of the wheel walls must be avoided during excavation. Pit walls are generally lowered by means of the hair own height, using superposition loads and reducing frictional resistance and so on. How to reduce shear resistance? If the shear resistance is estimated to be large and when the pit wall is lowered, it is advisable to make efforts to reduce the shear between the outer wall of the wheel and the surrounding soil. How to reduce shear resistance? If the shear resistance is estimated to be large enough when the pit wall is lowered, it is advisable to make efforts to reduce the shear between the outer wall of the wheel and the surrounding soil. Water in the well should not generally be removed after placing concrete for the bottom plug of the pit. Filling the wall, the wheel must be flanked with key 175 Kiklon concrete to an elevation of on water below the footing foundation. The remaining on meter shall be filled with key 250 concrete or as so in fig. Cut off wall work. The cut-off wall must be water-rich and must be able to withstand external forces such as soil and water pressure during the process of lowering the wheel and must be applied after the excavation of the wheel. Demolition of the top of the open wall. The top of the wall has been installed with its curtain. The bottom sheet of the footing must be dismantled. The disassembly must be carried out using pneumatic breakers. Blasting shall not set in of the demolitions. Range for standing into the footing must have a length of legs 50 times the diameter of the previous 7. Safety control in carrying out the construction of the pit foundation. Its safety standards must be able to work by strictly complying with the relevant laws and regulations. 1. Check the red because to get the same size to third way tray are installed the will get a flat surface. 2. Prepare the workplace and the surface to be installed with red bricks. 3. Install sufficient instruction tool for an FMS of Mansory. Well, marking. Insert the profile by using allow around. 5. Clean the work area from the existing dirt. 6. Clean the dirt beaker from the ends before installing so that the adhesive can work properly. 7. Prepare a mixture of thin bit, red brick, and adhesive and put it in the mortar plastic bucket. 8. Stir the mixture until smooth and homogeneous wood, using a hand mixer. 9. If there is no floor surface to be installed with red brick, the mortar is set face at the very base to obtain a flat surface. Implementation condition. The river stone is for the foundation must be cut stone, circumference and hard before the foundation is installed. Profiles of the foundation are made and at each corner of the excavation. The bottom surface of the excavation must be filled with sand with a minimum thickness of 10 centimeters. Wetted and left and about is given an a stamp of crosshead stone according to the drawings. Stop saya langsung ke Lal.
Kolom. I do survey in Payakumbuh. The project name is Rumah Sakit Ibu dan Anak Anissa. The location is Jalan Sultan Hasanuddin, Kota Payakumbuh. The owner names is Suhadi. Reinforcing. Reinforcing is the manufacture of iron and steel reinforcement using iron steel rod as the main material. In this project, there are 7 types of column. Tool and material. Number 1 is bar cutter, bar bender, pliers, wire, iron, and iron grips. Assembly progress. The first thing to do is assemble the main reinforcement using 28 iron with 22 diameters, both in the field and the pedestal. And for the sengkang, they use iron with 10 diameter. Formwork. Formwork. Installation work and still use the concrete molding. Can use wood, stone, or iron. Formwork progress. Installing and completing the column reinforcement include the installation of concrete decking on the outer side of the reinforcement. Installation of molded panel or formwork that has been molded panel or formwork that has been coating with oil. Then put on installing molded panel or formwork that have been cut with oil. Then put a cover on the corner of the panel matting and the anticipator measure in the event of leak. Install the column clamp according to the plan. Position the mold of formwork so that it's a vertical and firmly support. It should be using a theodolite. Casting. The casting progress is already mixed concrete, mainly which concrete is ready to be made. The manufacture of the concrete is no longer on site. The quality of the concrete is used in K300 and FC 240 MPa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Helga Safira and I will explain about beam. And this is the beam in the project I surveyed. Next, this is the shop drawing of the beam's plane. Next is the work method. Reinforcing. First, reinforcing or assembling the reinforcement is done in another more convenient place. Iron assembly must be in accordance with working drawings. Second, next is the installation of the main reinforcement. Before the installation of the stirrups, first made a mark on the main reinforcement with chalk. Third is the installation of the stirrups. Each meeting between the main reinforcement and the stirrups is tied by wire with a cross system. Fourth, after the reinforcement has been assembled, the reinforcing steel is transported to the location where it will be installed. Next is formwork. First, formwork is installed in three sides: right side, left side, and the bottom side. Installed with 12 mm multiplex as formwork materials for our 6 wooden rafters reinforcement. Second, measure the formwork using a meter in order to get the appropriate result. After that, place the formwork in a predetermined place. Third, The formwork is given a score of 3 or for batten wood as a pressure reinforcement when the castings are poured. Between the score is given a distance about 30 centimeters from the other score. Fourth, score installation can use nails as adhesive. The nails are nailed using a hammer. Next is casting. First, after the formwork is installed properly, the formwork is smeared with formwork oil and then place the beam in its right position inside the formwork. Second, make sure the iron has been placed perfectly in its position in the formwork by making sure the concrete below and hanging left and right from the side of the formwork with the intention of getting a concrete blanket. Third, concrete casting is carried out using quality concrete in accordance with technical specification. To facilitate the work, a wheelbarrow is prepared as an introduction to the mortar to the work area. Fourth, after the area is ready, do the concrete casting by pouring the concrete mixture into the casting area. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Faris Hendika 20100154100 tier 9.
C. Ironwork. First, installing the button reinforcement on the floor plate or button layer. Second, tie the main reinforcement and reinforcement using bonded wire. Third, provide support or chicken leg reinforcement as a grout. The distance between the upper reinforcement and lower reinforcement. 4. Install the top reinforcement on the floor plate top layer. 5. Tie the main reinforcement and reinforcement using bonded wire. D. Foundry. First, clean the dust in the area to be cast. Second, make sure that the filling has been placed perfect in its position in the formwork by making sure the concrete is left and right in the formwork to get a concrete blanket. Third, doing casting. 4. Leveling the concrete according to the thickness and elevation of the plan.
Hello, my name is Adam Darmawan, NPM 2048. I will convey the result of my survey report. Okay, this is a picture of the platform that I survey. Next, here is a picture of a platform plan. Next, implementation method. A. Work introduction. 1. Prepare tools and material to be used. B. Formwork work. 1. Measuring the elevation of the design height on the beam formwork. 2. Assembling the scaffolding. 3. Assemble the formwork according to the plan on the planning drawing, using 12 mm multiplex and Caso timber frame for multiplication 6 cm. Mount on top of the scaffolding beam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay then, I'm Putri Nintiastuti, MPM 2067. I will read stair. Stair are paid the half-step thread that connect one floor to the floor above and has a function as a way to go up and down between floor levels. Formwork can be said to be a mold. This mold is usually used when making the foundation of building. For example, the ladder that I surveyed has a height of 3.7 meters, which means the height of the formwork is the same as the lower ladder from the top ladder 2 meters from the borders. The leading width is 118 meters. The lower ladder is 313 meters, while above 285 meters from the borders. Formwork, tool and material. Tool, hammer function, hit and pull nail. Show function to cut wood, cutting polywood. Nail function for gluing the two ingredients in a way, pre-net it. Meter function, measuring length wood. Wood function, retainers from rock order to position do not change. Solar function, time order, demolition as the formwork done. Formwork material, polywood specification, have 8 meters long and 4 meters width 1 inch thick. Wooden board specification have 4 centimeters thick and width 30 centimeters. Board type usually used is a board demonstrator repetition, reinforcement work in the manufacture of iron, steel, reinforcement using iron, steel rod as the main material. Repetition, tool and material. Matter, function, measuring length, iron. Hacksaw, function, cutting iron. Tang, function, bead, wear to iron. Iron bending, function, bending iron. Repetition material, reinforcing iron, specification, diameter 8 plan 12 and 4 type I and diameter 12 plan 12 4 type L. Sengkang function, diameter 6 plan 12 4 type I and diameter 6 plan 12 4 type L, where used size 1 millimeter. Assembling the reinforcement for the stair is first carried out. Assembling the reinforcement for the staircase floor, starting with the argument carried out the project location. The reinforcement to be used is first measured and the cut using hacksaw and format with an iron bender and the target on the formwork with distance of 12. Casting. Casting is making component by pouring melted material into a mold. Casting, tool and material. Tool, pump, concrete, and cement spoon. Material, ready-mix cement. The casting used K300 quality concrete. Uses ready-mix cement. It is poured into the mold using a concrete pump. In preparation of casting, a part to be cast must be clean and free of grime to avoid damage to the concrete. After the casting is complete, wait for 28 days until the cement is completely dry. Formwork demolition. Dismantling of the formwork in carried out per set of polywood using a crowbar. Water regular for at least 5 days because the concrete will lose water in the concrete cross section due to evaporation. Formwork demolition. Tool and material. Tool, crowbar, function, spirit from rope from concrete drive. And material, water, specification, free to use from dirt and material other to can to make the concrete.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Candra with name 2010054100001 from the Department of Construction Economic Engineering, Faculty of Civil Engineering and Planning, Bung Hatta University. Today I will explain about my survey report. Without extending the time, let's get started.
Method of sliding wall implementation. Sliding wall. Sliding walls are reinforced concrete slats installed in a vertical position on the side of a particular building that serve to add to the rigidity of the structure and absorb large shear forces as the structure gets higher. In multi-level structures, sliding walls have a variety of functions, namely: 1. Withstanding right or lateral force, such as earthquake force and wind acting on buildings. 2. Absorb horizontal baboons on large shearing forces as the structure gets higher. 3. Add stiffness to the structure. 4. Prevent exterior wall failure and support some floor of the building. 5. Ensure that the structure does not collapse due to the lateral movement in the earthquake. 1. Sliding wall walkthrough. Measurement equipment: meter, long meter, elbow meter, theodolite, gradually, water pass, bar cutter, tower crane, bar bender, decking baton, vibrator, concrete bucket, decking baton, concrete bucket. 2. Installation of reinforcement. The walls are planed and planed. Leave the reinforcement of the walls that have been assembled with tower cranes. Attach the iron wall into the existing iron claddings. Tie the old wall and the new wall reinforcements. Give the decking concrete at some point as concrete thicker limiter. 3. Installation of formwork. Mounting ring or anchor mounting on the core wall. Assembly of floor or platform climbing. The distance between climbing brackets according to the haunted position on the core wall. Mounting climbing rope to the roof of the platform. The position of the rope must be balanced. Marking to the position of the block and ground floor plate on the wall. The installation of block out or core wall using styrofoam. Lifting the climbing platform with help of TC adjustment are made so that the place is placed in accordance with the haunted position on the core wall. Lift the formwork panel with the help of a tower crane. Place the core wall, the fender panel on the outside or the inside, and adjust the straightening with a push wall. Molds should be coated with the surface lubricating substance so they are easy to disassemble. Check the hood with anting-anting. 4. Costing implementation. Core wall assurer foundry is ready to be implemented after the checklist and approval of casting permits. Casting is done with the cast bucket and tranny pipe lifted by tower cranes. Then, compacting concrete with vibrators. Full temp following casting up to a specified level. After casting, workers knock the back with a hammer or rubber on the outside of the framework, following the direction of the cast. Then the worker cleaned up the remaining spilled concrete. 4. Demolition of walls. The demolition of the columns by working was carried out the day of the casting. The most extreme conditions are 6 hours after casting. It is assumed that the concrete has hardened and the cement has reached the initial binding time. First, reduce all the board contained in the format. The demolition of the bags missing is carried out the day after casting. And the second step is to loosen the kicker brace and simultaneously the wall formwork will come off by itself from the concrete face. Then, the column form is lifted and moved or installed in the wall above it with the help of tower crane tool. 6. Concrete straightening. After the demolition of the formwork, concrete treatment or curing is carried out, namely by giving compounds on the concrete surface to protect the concrete during the concrete hardening process. Concrete treatment is carried out to avoid loss of lots of water in the initial process of hardening concrete that will affect the initial binding process of concrete. Evaporation of water from the concrete at the time of hardening of the concrete in the first day. Temperature difference in concrete, which will make crack in the concrete. Okay, it's my report. I'm Candra. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, I'm here to explain the roofing methods and the material used. Start up. 1. Field survey. At this point, a device called a functioning meter is used to measure of length and distance. And pencil, that's a CTS as a measuring marker. Field survey enables you to show how much of the area will be covered by tents, ground construction, to what color suit the surrounding buildings. Then, the land contour is also very important. And for the color, it can be adjusted to pre-configured planning. 2. Production process. At this stage, the equipment needed was a hollow iron 2 to 4 millimeter in diameter and 3 millimeter thick membrane cloth. At this stage, the membrane then is produced. Arnet with on-site data, and the manufacturer will collect whatever material are needed. The material involved includes the stake if adopts a screen motor or pull, or the iron frame of hollow if the tent uses the frame model. Manufacturer also supplies specific membrane material. Of course, through your approval, you're the consumer of the distance. 3. Installation process. At this stage, the material used are hollow iron and membrane cloth, while the equipment needed is a meter, grinding machine, welding machine, screws, and drills. The iron frame or hollow iron will be pressed by the factory before being sent to the location on request. Once in the location, the iron will be assembled into a roof truss that is planted with a welding system. After welding is complete and the frame has been formed, it will that apply to the bolts that have been planted in the column beam. After the frame is formed, then the membrane roof installation activities are carried out using screw bolt or K bolts, as well as clumping bolt. Before the membrane roof is installed, the roof truss is first painted well according to the color of the membrane roof. Membrane roofs are manufactured directly from Australia. The membrane roof height is a 4 meter. Installation of the membrane fabric using the mechanically attached method. This method is applied at low temperature, not necessarily in the boat state. The membrane cloth is pulled from and until the membrane cloth is completely tensioned according to the roof plan drawing. After being pulled and having formed a roof pattern according the drawing, the membrane fabric directly screw spacing. The part that is screwed on the overlapping part, the bottom sheet, while the top sheet is welded using hot air welding, because the top is not given adhesive of screw so that it can be lighter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Fajri Alwidinata in PM 201001 541007. I want to tell you about roof. First installation method. Step 1 from rock. The measurement the gate the size of the concrete roof area to be made. Then the shape of the from according to the size that has been mentioned. Give rain reformation of the from board so as not curved until the scaffolding is ready. Prepare the country of revender. Do hold back to from work. Step 2. The in run what primitive as bed cutter. On the run part of zinc that has been cut and then bed asing the brother bed. After the run canting and bedding process incomplete. Disassemble the country deck roof bond asing bed redware. Step 2. Step 3. Casting. Prepare prepare monter that is mixture of floor plank comment. Sand, gravel, broken stands, and water and dog grinder. Before the dog is thrown on the framework, please apply the applying oil. Place the on the framework the requisition. Step 4. From demolition. After the contract is so Don lu bisa potong-potong video ke bos? Hah? Wala siya sampai matigo ko. Marampe salah entah ko tadi di ba? Ano sampai ulit. Iya sampai salah. 28 na sing itu bos. 28. Apa? 28 dice. 28 sale. Forward dimension. After the constraint is 28 day old, this backing can be open. Where the country shape is stable. Freeze off multiplex is the hit with a hammer so that the country attachment on the multiplex can be removed. Put it back up before then let go. Remove the nails bolts on the framework so that the screwed panel of the framework is detached. 5. Step 5. Country treatment. After the work of the construction and country lay which I really had. So to maintain the quality of country is done quantity be watering country 2 times I wake. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello guys, my name is Farras Safira Putri NPM 2010015410050. I want to tell you about basement. Basement for the excavation that are more 2 meters. Usually it is necessary to be DPT, a structure member that hold the stability of the wall from collapse. DPT can be the form of DPT which build the release again after the building or basement. While the complete and there are DPT remain banded after the basement is complete. Temporary DPT can be the form of steel sheet pile, 1 ground onshore, 2 starting. DPT can be in the form of diagram wall, 1 solder pile, 2 continuous pile. This is a basement of Aksana. Shell excavation method. 1. Excavation is carried out the excavator and material is directly dumped into dump truck. Optimal dump truck position where the Baku swing angle is 45 derajat until 90 derajat, and the excavation height according the critical height calculation. Number 2. Excavation stage 2. The sounding from the excavation is stage 1 must be protection from the rainwater. 2. Usually, starting the account stake for excavation can be carried out using method in step 1. Number 3. Excavation is continued until design elevation for the excavation below the groundwater level. The watering work is carried out. 4. The excavate solid spot of the disposal area is closed. This time is count for the disposal and the net condition is excavated soil. Does not fall road by covering and the dump truck with a tarpaulin. Tools used. 1. Excavator. It is used symphony of excavation process. 2. Truck for moving and leaving excavation soil. 2 steps. The watering work method. 1. Determination of the watering point. Determination of installation point is submitted pump carried out by the team of surveyor. The watering work is carried out simultaneously with the work of making board pile. 2. Pile and channel creation. Making pile, the channel is carried out of collection water that it used, not statement. Watering work method. 1. Determination of watering point. Determination of the installation point of the submitted pump carried out by the team of surveyor. The watering work is carrying out simulation with the work of making board pile. 2. Pile and channel creation. Making pile and channel is carried out to ampun. The watering work method. 1. The watering is the watering point. 2. Bit of channel created. 2. Shower time. 3. The watering work method. 1. The determination of watering point. 2. Bit and channel creation. 3. Shower system. 4. Submersible pump installation. 5. Close of watering wells.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is harytsyah in PM 20100154100I9. I want to tell you about basement, well cap and T-beam work. Well cap is a foundation or combination of several pile foundation before the construction of the column above it. The function of the pile cap is to accept the load from the column to be passed on by the foundation to the hard soil below. T-beam in project term is known as law. Structural connecting the column leg of the structure. Its function is to distribute the shear load from the nearest connected column and then channel it into the foundation below it and also balance the structural load. Well cap and T-beam work method. Step 1. Soil is excavated using an excavator, accompanied by leveling the elevation of the excavation base. 2. Bits of foundation are leveled up to the base elevation of the well cap. 3. Maximum bending of foundation reinforcement 45 derajat to the horizontal line. The four excavation bases are wide 10 cm thick sand as a work floor so that the surface is flat. 5. Bell cap and T-beam reinforcement are installed according to sub-drawing. 6. Bell cap and T-beam formwork installed. The formwork is composed of thick plywood boards, 18 mm wide hollow steel frame 4-6 cm. 7. Formwork and reinforcement are checked before casting. 8. Bell cap casting along wide T-beam is carried out using concrete buckets. Then the cast concrete is vibrated using a concrete vibrator so that air bubbles rise so that the concrete mix becomes dense and homogeneous. 9. Formwork is removed after the concrete is hard enough. After the foundation casting stage is complete, it is continued with the implementation of carrying on or concrete treatment using a carpet material made of non-woven geotextile made of polyester or polypropylene measuring 100 meter. The carpet is spread over the cast concrete and the water was moistened. Basement wall work. Step 1. The iron cutting are connected to the floor plate reinforcement. Then the connect is cast together with the plate. 2. The main reinforcement and stirrup reinforcement for the retaining wall are installed according to the sub-drawings for the basement wall reinforcement details. The bottom of the wall reinforcement is mounted white iron by welding it as a formwork retainer according to the markings that have been made on the floor. 3. The reinforcement for the basement was installed the temporary support so that The reinforcement is perpendicular to the axle. Install the formwork panels on the inside of in retaining wall. 4. Push-pull prop stiffener handlebars of kicker's base and install to adjust the strike position of the inner side formwork panels and stiffener. So the formwork remains in position when casting is carried out. 5. The outer side panels of the basement wall formwork are installed, accompanied by the install of the outer side puller push handlebars or kicker brace. 6. The panel are tied using T-rods on both sides so that the panels are strong enough to accept the weight of the cast concrete. The T-rods are installed to the formwork by inserting them into the PFC PP. So that when the cast concrete rise, the D-rods can be removed. 7. Casting is carried out using a concrete bucket. Formwork dismantling is carried out between 48 hours after casting by loosening to remove the pusher pull handlebars of kicker's brace and T-rods. Basement floor work method. Step 1. Formwork work. For floor slab work begins with the install of formwork. The formwork is installed by supporting the scaffolding. Step 2. Ironwork. The ironwork is done manually by the craftsman by preparing the reinforcement for the floor slab in advance. The reinforcement that needs to be prepared before and stirrup reinforcement, cutting reinforcement, and bedding reinforcement. After already reinforcement, assembled directly on the spot. 3. Foundry. The floor slab work is cast by using and concrete from the hub for the concrete mixture onto the floor slab. In addition, a fabricator is also used, which functions to compress the material concrete so that no air is trapped in concrete. Ground floor. This is ground floor at Hendika Hotel in Padang. This is a moment. Thank you.